Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, my girl left me a few times. Well, I've got an email success story here from a guy whose girl, believe it or not, actually left him a few times. It was an on-again, off-again type of relationship. So he shares some of the text exchange that he had from her recently after she pushed him away and then came back, and he's been doing pretty well since she's been back in the picture. And he admits he's been kind of guilty of over-pursuing and trying to force things a little bit. So what I liked about this email is he's just a regular dude. He's read the book 15 times. Obviously, he's kind of having a hard time struggling to implement what he's learned in the book because obviously he's got old emotional programming and limiting beliefs that he's trying to overcome. So he's fighting that instinct to act the way that he always has with what he's learned in the book. And so you see he's just a regular dude, he's not perfect, and I thought it was a great email to share with you. It's a success story nonetheless, but like I said, you can really kind of see how he still struggles with this because, as I wrote in my book, I struggle with it. It's finding that balance, finding that sweet spot where you're centered in your masculinity. You resist that urge to pursue too much, to try too hard, to try to do too much to force things along. And instead, you just kind of have an air of indifference, one of non-attachment, one of giving the other person the freedom to come and go as she pleases and to come to you at her own pace so she feels safe and comfortable throughout the whole process. It's a subtle difference. It's not easy. It's not all sunshine and roses to master, but when you find that sweet spot, it just makes your confidence skyrocket because you realize just you being you and acting like a man causes your girl to go bananas for you. So with that said, I got a quote that I wrote, and then we'll jump into his email. And the quote says, "Control is an illusion. We may think we are in control of our lives, but the longer you live, the more you come to realize that the universe often has other plans. Life is change. It requires your flexibility and adaptability to change so you can navigate the seasons of your life, overcome challenges and setbacks, and reach your full potential. Your attitude and mindset are the greatest tools you can use to shape and change your destiny. A positive and empowering one enables you to succeed eventually with enough time, patience, action, and refinement to your approach. A negative and limiting one keeps you stuck in place and mediocre. No matter what life throws your way, your ability to remain relaxed, peaceful, and resourceful determines your trajectory and ability to achieve your outcomes." Let's go through his email, shall we? "Hey, Coach, my girl left me a few times. She did the on-again, off-again, and wasn't sure if she wanted a relationship with me when I went along with, okay, that's cool, contact me if you change your mind, or babe, that's okay. If that's how you feel, let's just see each other without a label and have fun. But I did get needy sometimes and act off-putting to her. I now realize after much reflection, but before the breakup and after, I've now read the book over 15 times. I know as soon as I make the mistakes." That's what my book can help you with. It can help you self-diagnose what you've been doing, what you've been saying to turn your woman off. And then once you see it, the patterns become pretty fucking obvious. Continues on, "She called me over one night a few days after breaking up with me to talk about it," he says. "I went there dressed nice, smelling good with some of her things, and I decided to leave her things in the car, not to be the first thing that she sees when she opened the door to me. That was smart. I had been complaining recently of her lack of input and effort and excitement into our intimacy, and she opened the door dressed up in sexy dress that I love and pulled me in and started kissing me. I shut my eyes and I went with it, and I had an amazing time after the indoor Olympics. She said, 'Here,' and had 2 glasses of wine ready on the bedside, and she had already made an effort, and then she started to talk, and I shut up and I let her do the talking." Nice job, dude. So the fact that you told her what you wanted her to do more of, and the fact that she actually did it shows that she cares. If she didn't give a fuck, she would have done nothing. But that's a good sign. So she went on about how she's messed up, needs to have structure. She's still getting used to living with just her and her kids after she left her husband. And then she moved across the road from me since she moved 15 minutes away from me as we argued a lot towards the end. Well, men who understand women don't argue with them. They communicate in a loving adult manner, and they're good listeners. And needing set days that we see each other. She apologizes that it sounded stupid, to which I was happy in my head, but I just said, okay, I understand, babe. I think this is good and clear to me as I need. She also said that she would get help for her mind. I don't know if that means she's got depression or she's got some kind of problems or she needs therapy or whatever. Just keep in mind it's not your job to fix somebody. The idea is you want to find somebody who's happy, who's whole, who's complete, who's ready, willing, able, and open to having a relationship. And it sounds like she's in the middle of a divorce. Obviously her emotions are kind of raw. She's still adjusting to being a single mom. So obviously there's some little red flags there that could create some conditions where you're going to have problems versus somebody that's the ex-husband's long gone, she's ready, willing, able, and open to date. There's no excuses, no things that she's got to get past or figure out. Because women that are in her situation are going to tend to be hot and cold emotionally. One minute they're all over you, and the next minute they're like, I don't know about this. It's just that's what you're going to encounter when you date somebody in this situation. She advised how she knows and appreciated that I've been learning to be a good guy, reading How to Be a 3% Man, and also the 5 love languages, and she sees the changes and believes this roster for us gives us some structure that she needs. I was to see her Monday, Friday, and alternative on Saturdays and Sundays, and also depending on how we feel, Wednesday nights for sex catch-ups, if no phone chat. Well, it sounds like you got a lot of structure and a lot of rules around what days you get together. It tells me there's not a lot of spontaneity going on, and that is important. You got to have some mystery, you got to have some spontaneity. Not, hey, we're going to get together every Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday at this time. You don't want it to become like a boring, dull routine. You got to have some variety in your life. The next night, she had a night out with the girls, and she came home later than she said she would, and she had drunk a lot and taken stuff, and I freaked out as when she called me, she couldn't speak. She never goes out. We got past that, but days later she told me that she didn't feel anything with me and wanted to end it. She loved me. Well, remember, this is another time when he's freaking out and driving her away. In other words, he just totally lost his shit and became uncentered, and she didn't like it, and she backed away and pushed him away. Women want to feel safe and comfortable. They want to feel like, because remember, she's in the process of getting out of a divorce, and if you're being a needy, insecure jackass when you're dating her, you're just bringing drama into her life. It's not ease and delight. It's not effortlessness. It's not something that's just easy and fun. It's creating some drama, and you're kind of being a hassle. So therefore, she's like, I don't need this. Remember, the Thich Nhat Hanh quote, you must love in such a way that the person you love feels free. When you lose your shit and you get angry and upset with her, she's going to feel like she's losing her freedom. That's why she pushes you away like she did. She said she loved me, but she felt that our relationship had run its course. So remember, women express what they feel in the moment. So in that moment, she's like, I'm out of here. I'm not feeling it anymore. Obviously, he had made a lot of mistakes prior to that. So it's not like he read the book 15 times and he's Mr. Perfect all the time. He read it 15 times, knows the information, but it's one thing to understand it as a mental concept, and it's another thing to show up and do the right things when you really care about somebody and you're trying to undo a lifetime of bad, weak behavior. She's thanked me and said she learned a lot, had a lot of great times, and we can move on and be better people. I was cut and I asked a lot of questions, but I ended with, let me know if you change your mind. I died inside, starting to read The Power of Now. I acted upon my spiritual beliefs and talked to a healer and counselor to help myself. Well, that's good. Good for you, dude. Less than a week later, because obviously he probably is familiar with 7 Principles to Get an X back, I randomly get a text. And so here's a text exchange. Hey, I don't know how to ask you, but do you still want to fuck? And he says, hey babe, good to hear from you. Love to see you. Why don't you grab a bottle of wine and come on over? I think I've heard that somewhere before. That sounds a little familiar. Well, I'm in bed at the moment, got the PJs on. And he says, because remember, he's direct, decisive, he gets right to the point, he focuses on his outcome and what he wants. Remember, his job is to create an opportunity for sex to happen. She throws it out there, and he says, well, come on over, and she's like, I don't know, maybe. And he's like, boom, direct, decisive, and here's his response. Handles it perfectly. We'll jump in the car with your PJs on and drive over. You can even stay over if you want and get it again in the morning. And she says, was just thinking that. And he says, great, see you soon. Pretty easy. I had deleted her number and Facebook from my phone, so I didn't check on her or do anything stupid. And it was her number and saying, not sorry, sure how to ask, but did you still want sex? Remember, your job, the object of romance is not a relationship. The object of romance is to have fun together. It's to create an opportunity for sex to happen. Remember, she pushed him away because he was creating a hassle for her in her life. Then he let her go, gave her that freedom, and she's like, oh, I kind of miss that guy. Hey, you want some sex? He's like, come on over, baby. In other words, nothing bothered him. He was kind of indifferent either way. He wasn't mad about the fact that she had pushed him away. He just let her come and go. Because remember, she's got some problems, obviously, that she admits to. And she's just recently left her husband. So he makes it easy for her to escape from her life and have some fun. Hang out, have fun, hook up. It doesn't say hang out, create drama, and hope you hook up. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. The 3 H's. The magic formula. This was her first night off without the kids in a few days, and it was 9:30 at night, as per her screenshot attached, and I did what you tell your clients and subscribers to do. I know I wanted about the booty call, but more so, she wanted to feel my presence, and I acted centered, strong, confident, and positive. We had some fun in the morning, and she left commenting on my nice-smelling house and some new additions, pillows, etc., etc. I feel this is a good story to publish on YouTube. I followed you for ages and probably watched all of your videos. Trust me, all 2,100 of them, and more than once. They all give me inspiration, and I share your wisdom and advice and page to not only friends, but Uber drivers too. Hey, Uber drivers are people, man. Uber drivers also could be 3% men and women. So I appreciate the referrals, but I mean, you can see he's not perfect. It's not like he read the book once and just everything was just all sunshine and roses. He's read it 15 times, but he's still, at least he says he has, he's still struggling with things, but he's getting better than he used to be. And the important thing is she's noticing that he is getting better. So that's a good sign. If you just let her come to you, if you let her do all the calling, texting, pursuing, you just make the next date just like you did right here. If a woman is chasing you and blowing up your phone and pursuing you and telling you that she misses you, she's not dumping you. She's not friend zoning you. She's not ghosting you. She's not getting rid of you. It's her idea, and therefore, if it's her idea to get together, she's not going to break those plans because she has a really high level of interest in getting together, to borrow a term from sales. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to go to my website, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book whatever coaching option works for you. And if you haven't got my book yet, you can actually read it for free by going to my website and subscribing to the email newsletter. You'll get a link in your email to confirm that you want to subscribe. And once you click on that link, yes, I want to subscribe, that will take you right to the members area. You can start reading the book, and then once you see the value, then you can buy a paperback or the Kindle, or maybe go and do an Audible free trial. And if you do the Audible free trial, you can actually get the audio version of my book for free. So you can learn all my best stuff for nothing. And then when you see its value, then you can buy it or make a donation or refer a friend or family member. And on that note, I'm going to let you go, and I will talk to you soon.